Hello. Hi. Welcome to fourth episode of Codoo Devlog. I'm Bill with Gameology Space, and before I dive into the devlog, I want to show you quickly what I did in the past week that's not game related. This is my website, still the same address, gameology.space. I'm moving the hosting from WordPress to Webflow. Little tongue twister there. The thing I want to highlight is the first image that you see here flashing back and forth. That's actually built with Omniverse. I spent a lot of time trying to get the right feeling of image from the generative AI, and I probably wasted a few hours doing that, getting various results, inconsistent results. The idea I'm trying to convey with these two images is when you're physically in your gaming room, when you start playing games, you get immersed into a new world. And that immersiveness, that new world, is different as technology changes. In the 90s, it was just playing games on a TV screen. Now it could be on a much bigger screen, or VR headset, or AR glasses if you are going outside. So you're still playing games, but how you experience games changes. And that's what I'm trying to convey with these two images. And to create these two images, I used the Omniverse, which is a really cool tool. The PC on that desk I grabbed from Sketchfab, and I have credits below in the contribution link. The table, the chair, the room really is from Unity Asset Store. The planes and the planet, the stars, are from another package that I bought on Asset Store. So in Omniverse, what gave me the advantage was realistic lighting. So I'm not going to go over too much about the website. I'll let you guys play with it. It pretty much has everything I want. Need to update the About and Community page very soon after Codoo launches. So here's the site for the game, and here are the previous devlog. So that's a good segue to actually jump into my progress this week so far. So the progress for this week so far is I've completed the stats under here. They are now populating from a game save, and also in the history, the categories are now pulling from the game save categories. When you click on it, it goes through the game save and lists every single word that has been passed, every attempt, the grade, and if it's under 3 attempts, the try again button will appear, and you can play that same word again up to 3 times. After 3 times is complete, that try again button will disappear, and you can click on these as well. When you click on it, it will actually go through that attempt in the game save JSON file and pull the relevant data and populate this pop-up, which is the end session pop-up that I previously created. The only difference is instead of the 3 buttons below, I hidden it and I made a close button instead. So if I click on here, it's the attempt and all the relevant messages for that attempt. If I click on the second one, it's something different from the second attempt. And if you hit try again, you'll immediately jump to the game screen. And oh, wait a minute, I just caught a bug. This should light up. Okay, I'll fix that next. But I messed up somewhere here on the game start, so I'll fix that soon. But as you can see, the word happy for code word and the forbidden words are passed. And if you actually try to play it, it'll play just like normal. Ugh. Now I broke it. Anyway, so try again. Still have some work, but pretty close. Pretty close to finishing the history screen. So that's the progress so far. So how does this work? I created 2 prefabs. Under here, I have a category prefab and a quest prefab. Quest is the individual word and category is the category. Up to you. So each of these is a prefab. When I click it, this is the quest prefab. And in the UI function, I have created a new class called History Category List. So in the History Category List, I have lots of commits that I haven't submitted yet. But, so it starts like this. Load the game save, and then when that's loaded, instantiate the prefabs. How it instantiates the prefabs? It's by looping the JSON file in that game save and look for the categories. And right here, for each category in that custom category, create a prefab, go into that prefab, look for the label, replace the label with that category name. These are just auto-generated by ChatGPT in case if that wasn't there. I don't think it's really needed, but basically that's how these get populated first. And then I created a new function. When I click on it, I want to populate on the right side the quests or the words that are within that category. So to do that, I first clear out the list on this screen, and then I grab the text component of the button to find out which category was clicked, and that's these code. So find the label of that button. And then for each word in that category, I will instantiate the word prefab. And then for each word prefab, I will call another function to populate the data in here. So going to that function, again, all these are basically looping through the game saves. I'm not going to go over that any more detail. It's the same concept. Go through the game save, look for the word, and find the 3 attempts if it exists. For each attempt, grab the grade, grab all the information needed to populate this box, and also if for the try again button, pass the code word and the related word. So that's what this does. For the unlockables, I basically go into the unlockable manager and created a new int called unlockable stat and made that public. So for each unlockable that it checked, it has an int holding that number, and that's what the grid is pulling. The other ones are just straight pulling from the game safe data and doing a count. I'm a little bit behind. Hopefully in the next week I can finish the settings page, add sound. Oh, analytics is done, by the way. I'll show you guys analytics. So I've also got analytics completed. That's another huge item on the task list. What I'm most interested in is how many sessions did people finish. By session, I mean, did people pass or fail certain number? Anytime someone wins or fails, I want to collect that information to see like how fast do people hit the 100-word mark, or do people stop playing after a certain number of words. And to do that, I can go to Data Explorer, add event, session end, and I can do a count of that. So there you go. These are all gameplays by myself. So 17, 19, 16 across 3 days. And to implement that, it was not too difficult. I'll stop playing. I only needed one script, and it's called analytics. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. Here's another thing. Remember not to use just the word analytics, because there's another class called analytics, and I had some conflict, and I couldn't figure out why for a while until I read that little note here on the side that says what does it say? I forgot what it says, but it reminded me, hey, you are inheriting from another class, and I was like, no, it's a different class. So make sure you use unique names. That's not in conflict with other existing class. Anyways, there's only 2 events I created. When people change name and icon, I want an event. When people finish a session, I want to capture that data. So I created these public functions for analytics, update profile, and analytics end session. When the session end event triggers, it will fire this analytics event and pass the information to Unity Gaming Service. All of these data are just staying there for me to analyze. It's not being sold to anyone. I need to also give people a heads up that their data is being sent not just to Unity Gaming Service, but also OpenAI, because everything is using the OpenAI API, and they process information. That's how the game works. And I will need to create a privacy notice box as soon as the player opens the game. So that's all for this episode. Got done with history, analytics, and broke the new game function, which I will have to fix. What's left on the to-do list is settings, sound, and publishing. Oh, and unlockables. Unlockables are going to be hard because they're kind of intertwined with the game session. I'll have to figure that out when I get to it. But thanks for watching. See you next week.